Elon Musk has been a busy boy in Central Texas. And of course, he's doing that because now he's a trillionaire. We're going to cover all that and more. And by the end of the video, you'll know why having a giant factory in your backyard might prevent data centers from popping up all over the United States. But for right now, let's jump into the update. What's going on with Elon Musk, his Terafab facility, and Grime County. So let's start off with the most recent event, or the biggest event, I guess, which is SpaceX's IPO that happened last week on Friday. Very successful. They started off around 135, ended the day at 160. Today, I'm recording this on June 16th, Tuesday, and it looks like they're up at around 210, which puts a market cap between 2.7 and 2.8 trillion dollars, which is a lot of monies, which is exactly what they're trying to do, right? This IPO is partly done in order to create a liquidity event, basically raise capital for what Elon's got planned for Central Texas. So according to what I'm reading here, somewhere between 75 and maybe $100 billion worth of liquidity raised via this IPO. And these are good numbers for Elon because he's got big plans. So let's jump into Grime County. This is where he's proposing a Terafab facility. It's a microchip facility, all part of his vertical integration for SpaceX teaser in order to put data centers in space. More on that in a second. But yeah, so he filed and passed the vote with the local county commissioners, 4-1 vote, so no problem there. And this is what we found out from our local news station, KBTX. They got the actual contract, which hasn't been signed yet, but the investment floor there was $5 billion. And this is important because the media was pushing out numbers of like phase 1 of 55 billion and then subsequent phases up to 119, which is a lot more than 5 billion. So we kind of felt like, hey, maybe Elon was pulling the rug out from underneath of us. But we have more filings, and this is important. So not only does he have to get a tax abatement from the local county, but he also has to get that from the local ISDs, independent school districts here in Texas. So that would be Iola and Anderson. So he files that with the Texas State JETI, which is the Jobs, Energy, Technology, and Innovation Program. Long story short, he's got to file with those folks in order to pass and get the tax abatements from the ISDs. Well, he filed that, which means now there's 30 days for the governor to sign off on it. Sounds like he probably will, and 30 days for the local ISDs to determine what they want to do. So we're now on a clock for that, which is good. We'll know more in mid-July about how or if those get signed off. But what came out of these filings now is specifically the filings for Anderson ISD. It declared that defined investment commitment of $23.8 billion. Now, I haven't seen the document specifically, so it's a little hearsay, but this is another number larger than 5 billion, which of course is good, and moving in the right direction of the 55, which was kind of promised. So basically what this tells me now is they're rogering up to bigger numbers. They have more confidence in what they're doing. And I think this is good. It's good for people who see the upside of the economic impact and the positive economic impact this will have. It's not good for those of you that are anti-Terafab, for those of you that don't want Elon putting a giant factory in your backyard. And I can sympathize with you guys as well. Man, it's going to be a huge facility. It's going to have a huge impact on the local everything, really. But economically speaking, bigger, probably better, more money overall coming into the economy. And I feel like that's a good thing. But you'll let me know in the comments below, won't you? All right, so, okay, so he's filed with JETI now. Looks like we're at 23.8 billion. What else has happened? He also announced an expansion to the existing footprint he has in Bastrop, Texas. So he bought something like 1,000 acres or more than that, and he's building an 11 million square foot Gigastat. Gigasat stands for satellite. So it's a satellite manufacturing plant that he'll be putting in Bastrop County. So Bastrop, if you don't know, is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Grime County. So if you kind of went from College Station, headed towards Austin, or if you went from Austin, headed towards College Station, you'd go through Bastrop on the way. And so he's putting these two factories about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And as I understand it, and here's like the big reveal, guys, they build these data centers basically here in Grime County, and then they ship them to be placed into these satellites, which are in Bastrop, and they'll be sent down to South Texas to be launched into the outer space world. And that is where the data centers will then remain, is in the outer spaces, not in our backyards, not using up our waters, not tapping into our resources or our electric grid. So big picture could be good. Like maybe we sacrifice a few big factories in Texas, but that prevents you from having another data center in your backyard. I know it's a long way off and it's like a big picture thing, but Elon's a big picture guy. So maybe that's the direction it's going. Maybe it's a net positive overall. This is what you need to know as your takeaway though, right? To follow along. One, we're 30 days out from this ISD decision. So that will be a big movement in the direction of greenlighting the Terafab facility here in Grimes County. The other thing that we didn't necessarily talk about, Intel is integral in manufacturing the data node, I guess, that goes into the data center. I don't know, guys, this is nerd talk. Correct me in the comments below. I don't know enough about the technology behind it, but Intel is a huge partner in this, and they're making a 14A node, and that 14A node is critical to the whole thing, and that is supposed to be complete sometime at the end of this year. I think they're a little behind schedule from what my research has told me, but that will be very important because if that goes to shit, well, that kind of throws a big wrench in the plans overall. And then to a lesser degree, we're still watching to see how the Texas grid, ERCOT, will connect to all of this and what the power demands will be on such a big facility here in Grimes County. And then also always concerned about the environmental concerns, specifically water usage, and whether or not the Gibson Creek Reservoir will provide enough local groundwater for this giant plant. In either case, guys, I will keep you posted. That is my goal here. I've already let the cat out of the bag. I'm probably more pro than I am con, but I definitely sympathize for those folks that do not want to have a giant factory in their backyard. I want to hear from you. What do you know? What am I missing? And what am I wrong about? See you guys in the comments.